And let's go ahead and take a look at the set. This thing is honestly stunning. It's very beautiful. I love the colors on this thing. The angles are just perfect. And the wingspan is massive. I'm not sure of the exact wingspan here, but it's definitely over 18 inches. So that's over 1.5 feet. This thing is huge and it barely fits on my shelf. Really, I just have about an inch to spare, so it really barely fits on there. But this is mostly plate built, so we have a lot of Technic elements as well to hold this thing together, but it's very strong. This thing is very strong, and it's a really wonderful build. As you guys can see, it does come with this custom stand here made out of Technic pieces. It's got a swivel on it so you can spin the set very nicely. Most of the time I see this set displayed this way, where it looks like it's flying up, but that doesn't really do it justice when it's being displayed, so I kind of spin it around. And I have mine looking like it is flying downward. And I think it really does look better. I think it looks very good like this, and it shows you more of the build, and you can see the wingspan, and it looks like the set is diving, like the ship's diving. I think that's very nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at these wings. You can see that there is some sticker elements here, and in combination with these different colored 1x1 tiles, I think that the design is wonderful on this ship, on the top of the ship. You can see right here, I believe this is the hatch, and then you can see these basically half tiles ran all the way along the 45-degree angle to create a wonderful effect with the orange on that wing. Over here we have a little bit of movement, so I usually display this set with the wings basically displayed like this. This is just one click down. These are the click clips. So you have pretty much a 90-degree, but that does not look good. So I usually have mine just one click down. Down here in the cockpit, I had to get better lighting so you guys could see this indigo violet colored cockpit. That really looks like what the Benatar looks like. Sorry, the ship is a bit shaky. The stands, as you guys can see, I can shake the stand, and the ship does have some give, so it's kind of like suspension. But this does lift up as well, and usually I have Rocket standing right in there, and then we have Quill or Star-Lord inside of the ship right there. It's a nice cockpit. I will show you guys the inside in a moment. On the top we have some wonderful tile work in orange and gray. I think this looks fantastic. I love this little area right here, as well as these handles that they've used to create some unique parts to the set right there. We'll go ahead and look at the back here before we open this thing up. These thrusters do move like this. I have seen in the movies when the thrusters are separated and the ship is landed. But one of the coolest features I think on the whole set is right here. These little things are like droid arms. They do move. When these move, they don't really do anything other than just look cool, but it's a nice cosmetic. You can see that there is kind of maybe like a vent flap right here. If it like overheats, the engine heats or something, or maybe it's for direction, maybe like aerodynamics, I'm not sure. Then you have a couple flaps right here on the thrusters that do come out. So really it looks best just kind of barely opened right there, but those do look very nice, and they do add quite a bit of detail and take up more volume in your display if you do have those kind of segregated like that. The underside of this ship really looks fantastic, as you guys can see right here. If you do remember, the Benatar does have these circular shaped thrusters on the side, and those look fantastic. I think they double layered these, and the blues look really good. You do have some flaps on the sides of the wings here that are probably for aerodynamics, probably for steering, but both of the sides do have them, as well as thrusters here and here. You can see these two main thrusters are just loaded down with all of these blue 2x2 round elements that represent thrusters, and again, these things can move every which way to allow them to steer correctly. These little wings here do have like a full range of motion. They're just on those ball joints, as you can see right there. But again, they do look very good when you just display them like so. Okay, and to open this set, you do just have two panels here. As you can see, there's one here on the back, and then they do have one panel right here. Very easy. They're just connected with a couple of studs here on these jumpers. But the inside of this build is not that big, so if you're hoping for something that's super playable on the inside, this is not the set. This set is mostly a display set. I love these pieces right here that they've used. Those are like the zipline pieces that minifigs can hold onto the handle here. But they've used those as kind of cool little thruster boosters things, whatever those are called. And then that is basically where Rocket stands on that 2x2. And then you can see him look like he is driving right here, because if you remember from the movies, they do have those pink elements that they use for the boost, the rocket boost. Inside here we have a little bit of a table, as well as maybe a computer screen with Gamora's face. I'm not sure what's going on there. And in the back, I really don't know what that pink element is, other than maybe just a door access. You press the button and you can get through the door, but the door doesn't really go anywhere in the set. They've done a lot of really connection on the sides there with all different kinds of gray elements to create a nice feature, as well as those grays down at the bottom. There's a couple of lights there and there. Over here you can see a coffee machine, and then those are those two seats that I was talking about. There's a bunch of clips on the wall. I can't really think of what else to use those for other than to store equipment, accessories, or weapons or something like that on the inside while you're taking a flight. I did look up photos of the actual Benatar, and the inside is very tight. It's mostly seats, but they did a really good job with the scale of this thing. You definitely don't want to see this thing in minifig scale. It's going to be massive because the wingspan on this is already huge. And yeah, it definitely wouldn't fit on my shelf if it got any bigger than this. Okay, and here I have placed all the minifigs in the set, as well as their weapons on those clips on the wall. You can see Rocket Raccoon here with his hands placed on the pink elements right there. And then we can see Quill behind, Star-Lord behind him. And he's got his hands on those boosters as well. Here you can see Thor about to grab a donut. You can see right here in the back those blasters. Those are Star-Lord's blasters on the clips back there, as well as Rocket Raccoon's weapon just right here. You can see that we have Thor's weapon just right here. And then there is Groot and Mantis down below on the chairs. As you can see, it's definitely cramped in there. We're still missing two Guardians, which is going to be Drax and Gamora. They will fit in here, but there's not going to be a whole lot of room for anybody to even move an arm or a head. So yeah, it's definitely cramped, but it's mostly just a display set. Okay, up next we're going to be taking a look at the minifigs in the set. You can see the first minifig that we have here is actually a Shatari. So this comes a little bit lighter than some previous versions. They do have some white ones as well. But I think that they're pretty much putting these Shatari minifigs in these Infinity Saga series just because, well, they're Infinity Saga series. There's really one in all of the sets, or at least most of the sets. I don't really like the minifig in this set here because this is a display piece. And yeah, I can't really display this minifig with the set, right? It'd be nice to get Gamora or Drax or something. But anyways, this minifig has a custom built weapon here. As you can see, that's kind of nice. Got some gold elements, and then the print on this fig is definitely pretty nice. Here we have a newer model of Thor, as you can see, with that darker and long hair. Definitely after the bro Thor period of time for him. Comes with that nice cotton red cape, and then we actually get a Stormbreaker build, which I do like. I think it's a little bit weird. It would be nice to maybe one day get a dual mold with brown and possibly silver or gray. It really wouldn't even matter if you had a dual molded piece for that Stormbreaker. But this minifig nevertheless is fantastic. Honestly, it's pretty black. The arms have kind of a metallic dark gray to them. But other than that, his uniform is basically black with that printing on his torso piece, of course. I will show you guys the back here underneath the cape. And there you go, you can see that back print on him as well. Very nice minifig and definitely a nice upgrade to the previous Thors. Up next we have Mantis, and I'm very happy to see this minifig in this set here. I think this is a fantastic minifigure. I love the molding on the hair that has the antenna. Of course, that is pretty much the best part of this minifigure, right? Of course, we have some green torso. It's really dark. It's kind of metallic, as you guys saw right there. And I will show you the back of the torso here. I'll pop the hairpiece off. It's kind of rubbery, so it's a little bit harder to take off, which is really good. It's actually a nice hairpiece. She has a little bit of an angrier face right here, like when she was manipulating Thanos and making him sleep. That would be a great face for that. You can see the back print on her as well. Very simple. We have some black gloves on her, but this is a fantastic minifig. I do wish that we had Drax because the two of them are just hilarious together. Okay, next we're going to be taking a look at Rocket Raccoon. This minifig is definitely different than some of the other rockets that we've had because, as you guys can see, it's a little bit of a reddish brown theme. The head mold and then that tail back there are reddish brown. I've seen a lot of minifigs of Rocket in gray, So this is very nice to get right here. You can see the goggles printed on the top of his forehead. I love the print of the torso on this minifig. Honestly, I think it's fantastic. I'll show you guys a closer look in just a moment. But then real quick, we want to take a look at the custom brick built gun. I do like it. It's a little bit, it's like a lot of pieces, right? So it kind of looks a little bit weird, but I know what it's supposed to represent, and it does get the job done. You guys can see it is very nice. I do love this minifig. And then we have that tail. It's a little bit rubbery. That kind of rubber material. It's very nice. This is a great minifig to add to the collection. And last but definitely not least, we have the Groot minifig. I don't know what age this Groot is supposed to be. I would say somewhere between 18 and adult. He has a lighter color to him than normal. This isn't like a nougat color, but it definitely is tan. You can see some kind of green print on him as well as some reddish brown in combination to create a tree effect. You can see just a little bit right here. This area right here doesn't have print. That's a little bit weird. And also, you really can tell that the sides aren't, like they stand out, that they're not printed on when it's just this solid minifig and it's got some print. So, you know, when you turn the minifig around, you can definitely tell that the legs are not printed and it kind of stands out. But nevertheless, this is a great minifig. I love the head mold on him. I did not have a Groot, so I'm super happy to have a Groot. I do wish that this set did come with either Gamora or Drax instead of that Chitauri, but this lineup of minifigures is fantastic. All in all, this is probably my second favorite Marvel set of the year, just behind Daily Bugle, right? Daily Bugle is just a fantastic set, but this thing is a wonderful display piece. It probably won't be seen flying around the city very often. You might catch it every once in a while, but this thing is huge and would be hard to display above the city, because as you can see, this is what it takes to hold it up, right? A bunch of Technic setup. That'll be pretty hard to hide in a Lego City scene. So this thing is mostly for display. It looks fantastic. As you guys can see, the color scheme is wonderful. I love all the work that they've done with the wings and the tile on this thing to really make it look nice and round. They've done a fantastic job on this set, and I would rate it probably a 9 or 10 out of 10, really. The only thing I was disappointed with was the minifigs, and really just the fact that I couldn't play with it inside, but I understand why after building it, why it's not bigger than this. But the minifigs are great. The only disappointment was the Chitauri and not getting either Drax or Gamora, which I don't have either of them, and they are pretty rare and expensive minifigs. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed this review of the Guardianship, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more great content coming real soon. I appreciate it, guys, and I hope to see you on the next one. Have a good day.